Hello and welcome back to David's Garage. This is a 1967 Austin Mini Moke and it is ridiculous. And today we're gonna get it running, hopefully. Maybe. So yeah, today's goal is to get this thing running. It hasn't ran in apparently 3 years, but we think it's been a lot longer than that. The motor was actually seized, the wheels, one of them kind of turned and the other ones were basically stuck. Tires are 10 years old, the plate says 2003 is last registered. But we'll give it a quick walk around. This thing is so cool. This is a road legal car and you almost sit like on top of it. Just imagine cruising down the highway on this thing. Totally ridiculous. So what even is a Mini Moke? It's a very ridiculous car, built in Britain and actually a few countries. It originated in England. It's built by Austin, this one. I think Morris built them as well. Powered by an 850cc motor, and the whole subframe, front and rear, is exactly out of a Mini. So yeah, these things are tiny. So I guess originally designed for the military, but they kind of, military didn't want them, and then they started selling them as civilian vehicles. I can see why the military didn't want them. But it is hilarious. So it's a 4-speed, yeah, exactly the same as the Mini 850cc. These bumpers aren't original, but they're pretty much the exact same as what would have been. These bars actually fold up, and then there's kind of like a canvas top that goes over the whole thing. So yeah, you have a little storage pocket here where the fuel pump is, and then your gas tank's in here. And then you walk around, everything's pretty much open. Your battery box is here, and then each one of these is a storage container. You'll notice the seat's basically just some padding. That isn't the original gauge pod. Originally they have like a square pod, and any Mini Moke expert will see this has twin wipers. Originally this one would have had one wiper. That's kind of how you can tell the Mark 1s aside from Mark 2s. You can see this one hits the hood and it's not even at the same level. But it's very cool. Huge project. But I think it should be close to running right now. I did a lot of work last night and this morning. So I just have to start with last night. I took the spark plugs out, put a little bit of oil down each cylinder, and notice one cylinder actually was full of goop. And you'll notice that's actually why it's outside right now. It's because when this thing is going to get started, it'll probably smoke a lot. I have checked spark, it has spark, just did an oil change, has fresh oil added, topped up the coolant, cleaned the carburetor. Either the clutch is stuck open or there's something wrong with the transmission, but you can put it in any gear and it'll just roll, which is kind of weird. So yeah, it's in gear, drive shafts are engaging, both of them are fine. The engine is not turning over. Other than that, yeah, it needs a lot of work. The wheels were stuck, like I said, and basically I just took them apart and actually took the one side with the front brake pads right out, just so it can roll around. Like, having stuck wheels is such a pain. But yeah, let's get this thing running. Ta-da! The battery is finally out. Now let's see what's in the storage containers. Ugh, rust. Well, maybe the next one has treasure. Ugh, fiberglass. Alright, moving on. So, the motor was seized from sitting. However, the starter motor had just enough jam to crank it a little. Not the best idea, I know, but I couldn't push it in a low gear because the transmission wouldn't work, and I didn't have enough room for a wrench on the crank. So, this seemed to work. There we go. The Moke did not come with a key, so I tried all my mini keys with no luck. I do have an extra key with an ignition, so I'll just pop that in. Alright, so this little ring is totally stuck. It's impossible to get loose. I mean, you can get it loose, but I just decided to wire another switch in. Just a key that I had. So now I'm going to turn it over and check for spark. Nice! Ew! Ah, much better. Now that we have fuel and spark, let's try and start it. The hood just comes off like this. There's supposed to be two little like rubber straps here on each side, but it's just, yup. No hinge or anything. Alright, let's see if this thing will start. Weird. I'm gonna put a little fuel down the carb. I have a feeling none of that actually went in there. Alright, ready? Oh, okay. Oh, that was it? Yeah, of course. This thing sounds good.